If you have already used react.useState and used the setter function to update a more complex piece of state like an object, you might already be familiar with the idea that we need to make sure to copy all of the other properties of our original object over before making the change to just the one property that we want to update. In the example of our contact card, we have a lot of properties that exist in our state, namely the first name, last name, phone, email, and isFavorite properties. In our case, it made a lot more sense to save this as an object because all of these pieces of the object represent a single item, the contact that you have in your contact card. However, when I make a change to, say, the favorite property by clicking the star, we want to just update one part of this entire object, the isFavorite property. With react.useState and the setter function that comes back, we need to make sure that we copy all of the old properties of our contact into the new state that we're about to return from our setContact function. Because if we didn't do this, then we would see that I click the favorite button and we lose all of the other data because we are only updating our state with one property instead of all the properties. Now, this is where the sort of little ray of sunshine comes from using class components and the this.setState method, because when we use this.setState, we actually don't need to copy all of these properties in. Under the hood, React will take the state object that we are providing in the setState method, and it will automatically combine it with the old version of state so that we don't lose the other properties that we are not manually updating. Of course, this might seem like a pretty minor benefit because it's really only saving us from one line of code. But let's actually see this in action. However, in order to do that, we need a class component. So first, I'm going to give you another challenge. Your challenge is to update this functional component to a class component, as I'm assuming you've guessed already. As a bonus, I'm going to let you use class fields and arrow function methods to avoid needing to use the constructor or binding the methods in the constructor or anything like that. As a tip, there's this line down here for setting the star icon to one of the two different PNG options we have. When you create your render method where you put your return inside of, I would move this line of code to be inside that render method, but before this return. Okay, pause the screencast and work on this challenge. Okay, first let's change our function to a class. We have class app. We'll get rid of our parentheses and instead we will extend react.component. Then I can change this react.useState into a simple state class field, which I'll just say by state equals this object. I'll get rid of this parenthesis here. Then I want to move this line down into my render method, but first I need a render method, so let's create that. I'll move my entire return inside of that render method. And then I will move this line of code down inside that render method. Let's change my function here into a class method, and we'll change it into an arrow function so we don't have to deal with binding it. And then before we dive deep into making changes inside of ToggleFavorite, let's go through and update all of our references to state. Before we had contact, but now I just have state.firstname, state.lastname, and so forth. So anywhere there's contact, I'm going to change this to, and let me just do a highlight of all of these. Oops, it looks like we got some classes there that we'll have to change. This.state, and then those properties. Now, let me fix these ones so that these still say contact. Okay, I'm also going to fix my ToggleFavorite to say this.ToggleFavorite. That's a really easy one to miss if you're converting from a function to a class component. Now, star icon, I don't have to add a this dot in front of because I'm declaring star icon as a variable here inside of my render method, so it immediately has access to those variables. Okay, I think currently the only runtime error I'm going to have, if I hit save, I probably will get an error. Oh, maybe not. That's surprising because I have this setContact function, probably because I'm not calling it yet. I bet if I tried to run it, then I would get an error. Sure. So let's go ahead and change setContact to this.setState. And actually, I believe if I hit save that I think things will be working the way that they were. Yeah, great. Now here's where the main topic of this lesson comes in, and that has to do with how we update complex state, or more specifically, how we update state objects with multiple properties, when really we only need to change one thing. Now what we had here from when we were using react.useState is still working just fine, Because we do need to know the previous value of isFavorite, we are using the callback function version of this.setState. However, one minor benefit of using a class component in this.setState, if you think of it as a benefit, is that we don't manually need to copy in all of the properties from our previous state object. Let me actually just comment that out. So I don't need this line of code anymore. If I hit save, I can still toggle my isFavorite icon here, which of course is toggling my isFavorite state, and I'm not losing access to all of the other properties. So why is this happening? Well, that's because this.setState is taking the new version of state, or rather the object that you are returning from this.setState's callback function, and it's automatically joining it together with the old version of state for you behind the scenes. For anyone curious, I'm pretty sure it's using something like object.assign, and it's using that to essentially meld two objects together into one final object. So writing this maybe as kind of a version of pseudocode, you'd have something like object.assign, and then you would put in the old state object, and then you would provide the new state object. And again, that just combines these two objects into one, which is essentially what we were doing manually with our spread operator here before. But this is happening behind the scenes, so I wouldn't actually have this kind of code here. Hopefully I didn't give up your hope about this being too awesome of a benefit of using class components, because really, in reality, we only avoided writing one line of code. But that being said, we got to take the wins when we can get them. And that about wraps up everything that I have to teach about using state in a class component. In the rest of this sort of mini crash course on using classes in React, we're going to dive into something called lifecycle methods. So that's what we'll jump into in the next lesson.